Hi, and welcome to Focal Point with Brian Fisher. Great to have you in the conversation. You know, it's kind of silly for the Republicans to be running from this debate. I've got looking at a Reuters poll here that shows that Obama now has a 39% overall approval rating. His numbers are dropping like a rock. If there was ever a time to take him on, just politically, no matter what the issue, this is the time. 55% of the American people disapprove of the job he's doing. He's underwater by 16 points. This president is extremely vulnerable, and there's simply no reason for the Republicans not to take him on. So why don't they? Why don't they take him on? Well, let's jump ahead, Rob. I'm going to change the order that I gave you. Let's play the Cruz clip number 5. And I think Ted Cruz puts his finger right on the issue in this soundbite. Why is it that the Republicans voted with Harry Reid and against their own constituents? Let's listen.
I don't want to speculate about Bob Corker's motivations in coming to the floor and supporting Harry Reid and attacking Mike Lee, which is what he did this afternoon. But let me say this generally. A lot of Republicans, they've been here a long time, and they're beaten down, and they're scared that if we stand together on this, and if a government shutdown results, that Republicans will be blamed and it's too politically risky. And, you know, I just think we need to stand for principle and actually stand together. And, you know, some of those Republicans are telling their constituents they're going to vote for cloture. They're going to vote for giving Harry Reid the power to fund Obamacare, but they're trying to convince their constituents that that's a vote against Obamacare, and it just isn't. And if it were, Harry Reid and every Democrat in the Senate wouldn't be voting the exact same way.
So Ted Cruz saying what I believe to be the truth. Republicans voted with Harry Reid and against their own constituents because they are scaredy-cats. You know, we've got a cat, and I know exactly where the term scaredy-cat comes from. You ever seen a cat? They flinch at the slightest noise. They run when there is absolutely no danger. They run and hide when there is no risk. You know, I told you we had this flooding problem, so we had workmen in our house repairing the ceiling where water leaked through the ceiling in the family room, and they had these fans set up there to dry the place out, to dry the flooring out and to dry the rafters and all that kind of stuff. Our cat went up and hid in a bed in the second floor for 2 days. She didn't come out for 2 days. She was hiding under the bed. She had nothing to be afraid of. There was no reason to fear. There was no danger to her. There was no risk to her. She was a scaredy cat, and she ran and hid. And that's what Ted Cruz is saying, and I think that's the bottom line. They are scaredy cats. They don't have the courage to stand up for what is right, to stand up for principle. Now, here is, let's go to the second Corker clip 7, Rob. This is Ted Cruz in his colloquy with Bob Corker yesterday. We played the first soundbite in the first hour. This is Ted Cruz responding to Bob Corker and calling him out, calling every Republican senator out that voted for cloture this morning. Let's listen.
And I would ask the senator from Tennessee, you agreed a moment ago, if I understood you correctly, that if 60 senators vote in favor of cloture, Majority Leader Harry Reid will be able to fund Obamacare in its entirety. Let me ask the counterpart. If 41 Republicans stood together and voted against cloture because we said we do not support the amendment that Majority Leader Reid has filed to fund Obamacare, when we told our constituents we oppose Obamacare, we meant it. Yeah. So we are not going to be complicit in giving Harry Reid the ability to fund Obamacare. Would Majority Leader Harry Reid be able to proceed and fund Obamacare if 41 Republicans stood together against cloture?
And the answer is, of course, no. Harry Reid could not fund Obamacare if 41 Republicans stood against Harry Reid, stood against Barack Obama, stood against Obamacare. It couldn't have happened. Instead, you only had 19 Republicans. The Republicans could have stopped this. That's why I want to reiterate, Harry Reid, 54-44, Harry Reid got funding for Obamacare back into the budget for one reason and one reason only, and that is scaredy cat Republicans. Didn't have the intestinal fortitude, didn't have the enough titanium in their spine to stand up to Harry Reid, Barack Obama, and Obamacare. That's why we have it, because Ted Cruz making the point, Republicans could have stopped this thing cold. This is not the Democrats' fault. This is not Harry Reid's fault. This is not Barack Obama's fault. They were predictable. We knew what they were going to do. We knew how they were going to vote. It was the Republicans that could have stopped it, and they did not do it. Now, and that makes you wonder what's going to happen with these debates, because here is clip number 9. This is Harry Reid talking to John Boehner. Let's listen.
Listen, I know you have been listening, but we want a clean CR. That's what we're going to get. If they want to shut down the government, here's how much time they have to figure it out. 4 days, 11 hours, 22 minutes, and 15 seconds. No. They can play around all they want. Some of the biggest supporters for doing away with the stupid tax, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that, doing away with that tax have told me they will not support that on CR.
So here's Harry Reid saying, look, this medical device tax, it's a 2.3% tax on every medical device that is manufactured in America. And it is not a tax on profits. It is a tax on revenue. So it's not a tax. Here's your profit. Declare your profits. We're going to nick that for 2.3%. It's 2.3% of their overall income. A lot of them don't even have a 2.3% profit margin. It's eating up their entire profits. And here Harry Reid calls it a stupid tax. And it is. It's the most anti-innovation, anti-creativity in medical care tax that you can imagine. These medical device manufacturers, these are the people that make the catheters. These are the people that make the prosthetic legs. These are the people that make the hospital beds. They make the medical devices that enable us to function. And so you're gonna put some of them out of business. And even Harry Reid says it is a stupid tax. But then clip 9, here's what he had to say to John Boehner.
Send us a clean CR, a clean debt ceiling. That's the path forward. There's no need for conversations. We've spoken loudly and clearly, and we have the support of the President of the United States, and that's pretty good.
So he says, no need for conversation. I just called the medical device tax a stupid tax, but I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to consider doing something about that. There's no need for conversation. So you see what's happened here. Who's got the leverage now? Who's got the momentum? Who's in charge? It's Harry Reid. He is large and in charge. Why? For one reason, the Republicans wouldn't stand up to him. And now Harry Reid feels like he is running the entire show down there, and he's probably right about that. Well, let's grab a phone call. Let's go to Jay in Macon, Georgia, or let's go to Randall, rather. Sorry. Jay, we'll get to you in just a second. Let's go to Randall in Jefferson County, Georgia. Welcome, Randall. What's on your mind?
Hey, Brian. I talked with you yesterday, and I kind of got cut off before I got through, but I know you're a busy man and everything, but over the weekend, if you would, I would love for you to, it's on YouTube, but it's you got to Google Randall Wood / my Obama song, and it's about, I hollered at the radio before when you would say, what we going to do, about Obamacare and all that stuff, and it's about 2 minutes long, but it's on YouTube, but my friends that I seen did it, they had to Google Randall Wood / my Obama song.
All right.
It'll come up. And
okay.
If you feel free, if you like it, you can, I'm not going to get no money for it, but if you like it, feel free to use it all you want, and but it's and the name of the song is I'm Going Straight to Jail.
All right, Randall. All right, appreciate that. Thank you for the call. That's Randall, Jefferson County, Georgia. Let's go to Jay, Macon, Georgia. Jay, thanks for calling and thanks for waiting. What's on your mind?
Hey, just a couple of quick points on the Barilla pasta.
Yes.
That just gives me another good reason to buy Barilla, and I want to tell everybody the next thing that will happen is they will try to pull that product off of your store shelf. So you'll have to insist that your stores keep doing that because that'll be the next push to try to drive them out of business.
Yeah, they will try to do that, I'm sure.
Right. More importantly, though, the fellow that talked to you about the federal furlough, federal shutdown,
Yeah.
I also work for the DOD, And you are exactly right. When they vote to fund the government, they will not fund the government minus the 1 day that's already passed. They will reinstate the 2014 budget. So, of course, it will include the pay that we would have gotten if we were there.
Now, let me ask you this question, Jay, and I appreciate that clarification because that's what I wanted to assure Mario. He's not going to lose a dime on this deal. He's just going to get a paid vacation if things happen. Let me ask you this, Jay, your Department of Defense, can you tell us what is going to happen in the military? My understanding is that all of the parts of the military that we need to be fully operational to make sure that our national security is protected and defended, that's going to be fully funded. If you have some second-line members of the military, they may go on furlough, but they will be made whole. Am I correct in understanding that?
That is absolutely correct. There's two different sections of military funding. There's what they call O&M, which is operation and maintenance. Those are the people that will be sent home. They've already given us a letter saying we are what we call working capital funded. So we do the maintenance on the aircraft, on all of the military items. That money has already been negotiated for next year anyway. So the working capital folks are going to be going to work anyway. It's the O&M, the operations, the support organizations that won't be funded as of Tuesday if they don't strike a deal. But again, once they pass the budget, that budget is for the whole 2014. It's not for 2014 minus what happened.
Yeah. All right, I appreciate it.
Right. The furloughs that was last year was a true budget cut. They didn't have the money, so they cut, the amount of money they had, so that came out of pay.
All right, Jay, listen, I appreciate that. Thank you for the call. Thank you for the clarification. So federal workers, some of them may get furloughed. They're all going to be made whole. It's going to be nothing but a paid vacation for them, so don't feel sorry for them. Now, you know what's happened to Detroit. They've gone bankrupt, total mismanagement, horrible mismanagement. We have no money. We're broke. President Obama is going to find $320 million to help Detroit. They're getting rewarded. They're getting rewarded for their absolute fiscal incompetency and corruption. Back in 2.